don't do exactly. I mean, I have different people in my class. And when somebody asks a question, it's a different question than somebody's asking next door. It might take us a day to answer it or an hour or whatever. So. But the material is going to be mostly the same. Yeah.
We have a conflict.
Okay.
On mine, I said, this is about number 3.
Number 3.
Muhammad was called upon by Allah to travel to Medina, and on Garrison's,
I
it
said
says
that he
from
traveled
Medina
from
to
Medina
Mecca.
to Mecca.
And
Well,
so he did both.
neither of you are exactly right because he did both. First, he went from Mecca to Medina.
But Allah didn't call on him to do that.
He was chased out of
He
Mecca
was
by
fleeing.
people who wanted to kill him. When he got to Medina, he preached and converted people to Islam until he
And then
raised a
went
big
back.
army. Then they went back to Mecca.
That's what
Smackdown.
I said. He returned to Mecca.
Okay,
Go to Medina and then return to Mecca.
Right.
I got 2 of them.
out of 3.
But Allah was.
Did you use all the other words correctly?
Yes.
Okay, well, let's do that later. Okay, that's not of interest to anybody but you and me.
No, we had a conflict with it.
Okay, but again, if everybody had a question about their
No,
test.
but if, for example, if you had done that to other people's papers
Let's just
besides
move on.
Natalie's.
I
Let's
probably
pass
did.
it.
I had to read all these in 3 days, so if I made a mistake, I'll be glad to fix it. Half a point isn't going to change your semester grade, but I'll look at your literature. Okay. Number 4. Philip, what are, is it 5 things that are similar between Christianity and Islam and Judaism?
They all believe in the same God. Abraham was important due to them. They all use the Old Testament one way or another. They have a holy day of the week, and they all have important holidays that they
Perfect.
practice.
Anybody think of another one?
Oh,
We
they're
just
all
have to-
they're all centered around Jerusalem.
Good.
Hold on, I have a
They're all
question.
monotheistic.
Yeah, Sarah?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Did we just have to list them off, or do we have to like write up to them?
Well, when it says describe, that
So-
means to describe.
No, I'm
But
That's a great question. I don't think everybody heard it. A teacher or anybody who's giving a test wants you to pay attention to what the instructions say. So if it said list, that's one thing. If
So
it's,
describe would be like write also beside.
it might mean not even have a list. It would just simply say, among the 5 similarities would be the following. That's a description. Okay? In other words, a description isn't using sentences. Okay.
I didn't use this one, but would one have been like having radicals, like radical extremists?
Well, you could argue that Hindus have radical extremists, Buddhists have radical extremists, Jainas have radical. Every religion in the world has radical extremists, so that's not really a very good choice. Okay, the last one. A lot of you didn't get this one. Basically, Ali created what became known as the Party of Ali, or the Shiites. And the Shiites make up 25% or so of all the Muslims in the world today. And they, in many ways, are having a dialogue or a confrontation in some places with the Sunnis, who are the majority sect of Islam. But the Shiites trace their origin directly back to Ali. And you need to know that. Okay, they're known as the Party of Ali. What? Good, okay. Okay. Now, the one that I really want to be sure we have time to talk about is the document. So let's go to that one quickly.
oh yeah, I just
So Saber.
Yeah.
whoops.
Yeah.
I just
You guys did pretty well as a class compared to some juniors I have, so don't feel badly. But there are some ways of breaking down or decoding something you've never seen. And the point of this is, by the way, why do teachers give you documents you've never seen?
Make connection.
To see if you can synthesize, bring together things that you've learned and sort of have one of those aha moments like, oh, I get it. This is probably a because of some clues that are embedded in it. Yeah.
I guess this is more personal, but I explained that it was religious and high priest, and it was.
What do you mean high priest?
Like it was from a high priest talking down to lower priest, and I got 1 out of 5, even though I said it was the wrong religion. I just feel like I should get.
Okay. What did I just say a minute ago about you? About if you have a question about your particular test, let's.
Well, it might apply to other people too. A lot of people didn't say Buddhism.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's true. A lot of people didn't see Buddhism, but a lot of people got it right. So I'm trying to get you to see what are some of the clues in here that would have given you the idea that it is Buddhist.
routine, joy, and happiness.
Okay. So
I
now you-
also
let me-
one of the last sentences was it said right concentration.
Right.
And I remembered that like
The eightfold
See, the whole
path,
priest
right,
thing's
right,
thrown
right,
out.
that.
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
a priest thing.
Okay, now that's a good point, and I take that into account. There are Brahmins who are Hindu priests that we talked about.
No, I understand that there are
Christians.
priests, I'm just saying that
Okay.
that's what.
Let me throw it back to you and ask you this question. Is there any evidence in here of any reference at all to Jesus, Christ, Abraham, Moses, any of the stuff that we associate with Christianity?
No.
Yes.
What?
Priests.
Okay, but
No.
That's the translation.
Buddhist monks, not priests. Not priests, that's what's confusing.
Buddhist monks.
Which is why, like, I thought it was.
Oh, I
like,
see, okay, the
Christianity.
word itself,
No,
priest.
there's such a
Yeah.
thing as a Buddhist priest.
But we know them as Buddhist monks.
Well, but
We didn't
Well,
know
okay,
that Buddhism
okay,
had
that's,
priests, we only knew they had monks.
okay. There are lots of other clues that this is Buddhist. Now, Maggie's identified what? She said, right, where's this, what line is it?
it's the one of the last sentences,
Also the
right
first line.
Right
concentration.
concentration, okay. If you remember when we talked about the Eightfold Path and the Four
It's like
Noble
right,
Truths?
right, speak, right,
Action.
something, right, action,
Right.
right.
No, but I'm just saying, like, it could be, what I thought it was a Buddhist, like, talking about or trying to convert priests, Christian priests, because we didn't know that there were Buddhist priests, that we only knew of Christian priests.
Okay, I mean,
Did you write that?
that's a good thought.
I didn't find, I'm just saying.
You guys all went on the field trip to the Buddhist monastery, right?
We didn't call them priests.
But I'm saying there are clues here. He enters upon the second trance, which is an interior tranquilization. And remember the whole idea of
Yes.
meditation
Yeah.
and right concentration? What's the goal of those things?
Curveball.
See, they're chatting.
I know,
and
would you
get
guys
mad.
please, I'm trying
But
to
you get
help.
mad whenever I say
You
something.
like storm over here and yell at me, and you're okay with them talking?
All right, I am not trying to play favorites, I'm sorry, I should have yelled at them, but I'm trying to. Okay, now I'm getting, I want you to learn this. So
I
Meg,
got 5
okay,
out of
listen.
5 on this.
Okay, so, good, why don't you read your answer?
Okay, it says the speaker here is a Buddhist priest speaking to the other Buddhist priest. I spelled that wrong. The other Buddhist priest about the Eightfold Path, and they're being taught how to rid themselves of suffering via meditation and the Eightfold Path.
Okay, look at the
They were
last,
probably written around the time of Tang Dynasty in China.
that's right, look, Natalie, look at the last line. This,
Yes,
O priest,
I
is called,
understand.
okay, but I'm trying to,
Read it.
but you missed some clues, I'm trying to sort of show you how you would have found them. What's another phrase for cessation of misery?
It's getting rid of misery.
Getting rid of,
Purging
Desire.
misery.
what's the S?
Suffering.
Suffering.
Purging suffering.
This.
It's a camera.
You know,
Someone trying.
I think that
We have 5 minutes.
all religions really just want the same thing.
Okay,
All
probably
kind
want
of
people to
things.
be
I'm
decent.
kidding, I'm kidding, I'm just. Keep
How
going.
many of you got 4 or 5 points on the last question? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, now, can I just throw that out there. What was it that you guys saw in here that made you confident that this was a Buddhist document?
Eightfold Path.
Right concentration.
Was there anything that we haven't already covered that helped you figure
No.
this out?
No.
So Emma, what's a key word for you in this?
I didn't think it was a Buddhist stuff.
Oh, you got it wrong.
No, I still got 4 or 5 though.
Okay.
What did you say?
Read your answer.
I said this document seems like a primary source, either a letter or speech written such spoken by an opponent of the Roman Catholic Church.
Roman Catholic.
Keep going.
Most likely during the time in which it was becoming more and more corrupt. The audience of this document is definitely the priests themselves who have decided to hear the rant of a singular person. The letter/speech itself seems to tell about how the priests joined the church as faithful men but turn corrupt as they rise through the hierarchy of power within the church. The occasion of this document is not specifically shown.
That has nothing to do with the
Yeah, nothing
But,
at all.
but here's why I gave, okay, I'll-
Exactly what I
okay.
said.
What you did though is you identified certain specific passages and then thought about them out loud.
But see, the problem is they are wrong.
Yeah, those are, I gave you 4 on that? You didn't let me, I gave you 4. Okay, I'll look at yours again, that's fine. Oren, what lines in here reminded you of Buddhism?
Right concentration, the first line, because.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. and
Also,
what-
also joy and happiness are like used a lot, so I thought that
Noble
was.
truth.